Namaste everyone, this is Steven from YogaWorks. Welcome to your practice. This class is called Spinal Rolls. So we'll be directing our attention to this central column that we have in our body that rests on the pillars of the legs and to which then the shoulders, the arms and the head are attached, so which is the spinal column. And it's not a single sturdy structure. I mean, it's a sturdy structure, but it also has quite a lot of movement capacity because it's made up of little vertebrae, little discs that are stacked on top of each other, but that also have the potential to move a little bit sideways, a little bit forward and back. Some have a twisting capacity, depends a little bit how lower in the spine or higher in the spine, they have different movement capacities. And in yoga we say the better you can move your spine, the better your overall movement capacity and even your health and longevity is going to be. So it's a pretty important part that we need to take care of. And of course, if you look at what we do in a regular day, we often spend a bit too much time sitting or in one single posture, and that affects the movement capacity of the spine because we're locked into one posture and we're not exploring the full range of movement. So I find when I do this work, especially the rolling, the waving kind of motions with the spine, it leaves me with a feeling of confidence, of strength, of control, and also a sense of lightness around the whole body. This is kind of core work in a different way because the ancient yogis said, well, your core is pretty much from your throat till your pelvic floor. And so if we look at it this way, then moving the spine is core work. It's actually not any different. It's not just the little center around our abdomen. So let's get started. First, I'm going to take you through, you can sit however you want. I'll take you through 3 main spinal movements. There's actually 4, but the 4th one is a bit hard to practice. So the first one is spinal extension and spinal flexion. So it's really simple. That's the cat and cow that we all know. So come into a rounded back, exhale here, and inhale as you arch your back. Simple forward and back kind of movements. And here we don't have a rolling or a wave pattern yet. We just look at global flexion as we round, global extension as we lift the chest. So do that for a few breaths, just starting to warm up and feeling, oh, what our spine feels like at the beginning of this practice. And then we can check in again at the end and see what we notice, if there's any difference. So this is the first spinal movement, flexion and extension, probably the one we know best. Second one is simple twist. So on the exhale, twist to your left. Inhale, turn forward. Exhale, twist to the right. Repeat this a few times. Simple inhale to unwind. Exhale to go to the opposite side. A couple of times. So here the spine is lengthened, there's no side bend, there's no flexion and extension like we did first. And the more you lengthen, the more twisting capacity you will have. Last one, end with twist to the right. So that's the second spinal movement, is axial rotation is called, which is a twist. The third one is a side bend, so place your left hand to the left, take the right arm over the head, that's exhale. Inhale to center and just swap your arms, right hand down, left arm over, exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale, exhale. Couple of these, doesn't matter how far you go, just explore the potential that is available in your body right now. Of course, this is not just the spine, it's a whole intricate system of pretty much all the muscles and bony structures and connective tissue in the upper body. So, which translates into these movements that we're exploring here. Last one to both sides. Take your time to complete that. And then Slowly release. Now come to lie on your back. We'll do a couple of spinal rolls where we roll up and down the length of the spine. And I find it works best if you bring the knees in to your chest. You can also hold the backs of the legs if you like. And then you start to rock backwards and forwards. You can start off a bit gently at first, just exploring. And then when you feel more confident, you can roll all the way to the neck and all the way to sitting. And just do that a few times. You might be moving around a bit in your mat, that's quite normal. Roll and feel the muscles along the length of the spine come into contact with the mat, like a gentle massage here. Let's do one more. And then just relax on your back, bring the knees into the chest. Just hold one shin with each hand, squeeze in a little bit, and just rock side to side this time. A little bit to the right, a little bit to the left. And now you'll feel the muscles along the length of the spine a bit better even, as you're rolling your weight onto the one side and then the other. And then rock up and come onto hands and knees. Now, as a regular cat-cow, we'll make the movements a little bit more intricate, a little bit more subtle later, but it's good to start with the obvious ones, the ones that are really accessible, that we already know, and then we'll dive in a little bit deeper. So you all know cat and cow, I don't have to explain much, but see if you can exaggerate a little bit with these motions in the spine. So as you round, really push the hands down, pull your belly up and the chest up, and then as you extend, draw the shoulder blades down your back, hollow your back, and pull the hands towards your knees. As you round, feel the hands pressing away from the knees, but they're not actually moving. And as you arch, pull the hands towards you. This creates a little bit of tension in this system, which will help your movement capacity. Nice. From here, just place the forearms down and then make a little space, almost like you're going to headstand, but we're not actually going to do that. Just place the head down and you can walk your knees a bit closer. So now we've pretty much locked the upper back into one position, slightly rounded probably. And then just do cat and cow with the lower back only. So you might feel there's not so much space, not so much movement that is possible, because the upper back is locked into flexion. So just feel how much movement potential do you have in cat and cow in the lower half of the spine. Notice it starts with a pelvic tilt, anterior, posterior, and then the rest of the spine will follow that into rounding or extending. Extending is easier because there's already a curve in the lower back in the lumbar spine that is in that direction. So obviously when we go in the opposite direction, flexion, it's a bit harder to round there because it's usually more in extension. And then release that. Now sit back on the heels, place your hands next to your knees. So now we're pretty much locking the lower back into one position, and we're trying to move just the upper part of the spine into our cat and cow. So see if you can do that with the thoracic spine, which starts at the bottom of the rib cage and goes up to the base of the neck. So it's pretty much the whole part where the ribs are attached. So feel that. And see if you can move through cat and cow here and just see what you notice. Probably the rounding here, the flexion, is a bit easier because that's the natural curve of the spine in that area. in the upper back. And extension is going to be a bit more limited probably for most of us because of the structure of the rib cage, but also it goes against the natural curve that already exists. Also in our lifestyles we spend a large amount of time with a slightly rounded upper back, a very rounded upper back for some, so that might also be a bit of a challenging factor. Nice, and then just sit up onto the heels. Now we're going to try and disassociate even more between the top part of the spine and the lower part of the spine. First come into global extension, which is a back bend, so you're hollowing the back, just like the cow pose we've done earlier. Shoulders a little bit back, keep the shoulders where they are. We're going to keep this and then just tilt the pelvis, keep the chest lifted so upper spine stays in extension as you start to round the lower back. Can you feel there's that tension right in the middle? And extend again. So only lower part of the spine is moving, the upper part stays in a back bend. Keep that, shoulders back, as you round the lower back. Any amount is fine. And arch everything. Round. Feel the belly drawing back. And arch. One more. Round. Pull belly back. Keep the back bend in the upper spine. And release. We'll do the opposite now. Round in the whole spine. Like cat pose. Notice where the upper back is, it's in a rounded position. We're going to keep this in the upper back. And again, we're going to move the pelvis and the lower back from here. So don't change the upper part of the spine. Just start to tilt the tailbone up. And round the lower back. Arch the lower back, tailbone up. Round the lower back. Couple more. Feel the tilt of the pelvis and the movement of the lower back while keeping the upper back stable. Not easy to uncouple those movements and then just sit up tall. Again, we're going to come into global extension, which is a back bend, a cow pose, shoulders back. Now this time, keep the pelvis and the lower back locked into this back bend, into extension. And all we're going to do is roll the shoulders forward. Try to round your upper back without moving the lower back. And extend everything. Shoulders forward. Try to round your upper back without changing the lower back and the pelvis. And lift. Couple more. Feel this sort of struggle between the top part of the spine wanting to do one thing and the lower part wanting to do the opposite. It's a really good exercise here to work your spine to get a little bit more control. Release. Well done. We've got one more left, which is global flexion. You're rounding the spine. We're going to keep the lower back, we're going to keep the pelvis tucked. Lower back into this flex position, a bit rounded, and all we're going to do is arch just the upper back, shoulders back, shoulders forward. It's not just the shoulders, hopefully you're getting some spinal movement too, but it helps to get the shoulders involved, to get some access there. And of course the shoulder blades and the upper back are moving on top of each other, they're closely related, as you can imagine. One more. And release. Nice, come into hands and knees. This time we're ready for a full spinal roll in our quadruped position here on 4 parts of support. Let's start in extension, which is dropping the belly into cow pose and looking up. Find maximum extension without lifting the shoulders, so drawing the shoulders back. Keep your shoulder blades down the back and arch your back as much as possible. Lift the tailbone, lift your gaze. So here we're in maximal extension. Now we're going to walk down the back into spinal roll, starting from the tailbone. So first tilt the pelvis and start to round the lower back without changing anything else. and then round the lower back a little bit higher up. Use your belly to do that, and start to draw in the lower ribs to round your mid-back, and then start to slide the shoulder blades apart and round your upper back. And then lastly, let the neck and the head follow, tuck your chin to your chest. So now we're in cat pose, completely rounded position. Hold this, pull your hands towards your knees a little bit. And now we'll start from the tailbone again, but the opposite way. So tailbone lifts up. Stay in a rounded position, the rest of the spine. Start to drop your lower back. Drop the belly. Continue really slow. Get to the bottom of the rib cage. Start to drop the bottom of the rib cage and drop the chest down. And then feel the shoulder blades move closer together. Keep pulling your hands towards your knees. And then lastly, extend your neck and lift the gaze. Again, same thing. We're starting to tilt the pelvis. Keep everything else in extension. Round your lower back. Creeping up one vertebra at a time as best as you can. Mid-back rounded. The upper back, push up. And finally the neck, tuck chin to chest, completely rounded. Pull your hands towards your knees as you start to tilt the pelvis, lift the tailbone, drop the belly, arch your lower back, drop the lower part of the rib cage, arch the mid-back, drop the chest, arch the upper back, and finally lift the head. It's not easy. You might even find, if you're not used to this, a whole chunk of your spine moves as one, maybe the whole spine even, because you're not used to segmented, which takes a little bit of practice, a lot of practice actually, I'm not going to lie. So now let's do that again, but this time we're starting from the top of the line, which is with the head and the neck. So stay in extension, pull your hands towards your knees. Actually no, press your hands away from your knees because we're going to round here. Now first drop the head, don't change anything else. This one might be harder. Then push up in between the shoulder blades. Then round your mid-back first. And then lift the belly to round your lower back. And finally, tuck the tailbone under. So now you're completely in a rounded back position. Spinal flexion. Now as we're starting from the head again, keep everything rounded. Just start to pull your hands towards your knees. And lift the head, just lift the head. However far it goes, it's fine. Start to drop the lower back and the chest down. Start to move through the mid-back. Start to arch your lower back and drop the belly. And finally lift the tailbone. And release. Sit back in child's pose. Take a breath or two just to recover. This is quite intense work on a deep core level. Not much movement, but a lot of skill, a lot of control, a lot of precision is required to do these movements. From child's pose, keep the hips back on your heels. Stretch your hands forward, almost like you're about to go into down dog. And now feel the rounding of your spine exaggerated. And start to roll forward around your spine as much as you can. And then lift your tailbone, arch your back as you stretch the hips back. Look forward. Look back towards your belly as you round your back. Forward. Arch your back, look forward as you move back. So this is a spinal roll as well, with a bit more movement. Round your back as you come forward. Lift your tailbone, lift the gaze as you stretch back. Now flow through this a couple of times. Use your breath. Find your own rhythm that feels good for you. And exaggerate the movements of your spine. Let's do two more. Round as you go forward. Arch as you go back. Round forward. Arch back. Downward facing dog, step back. Just tuck the toes, lift the hips. You can walk the legs out. We've done quite a lot of spinal warm up, which includes all your core muscles, the back and the front and the sides. And just feel the feeling in your center, the feeling of calm, presence and possibility that you have rediscovered. It was always there. We can't say we created it, but we rediscovered these things on our yoga mat. Now here, let's do the same couple of spinal movements in our down dog. First, start to tilt the tailbone under, round your lower back, round the mid back, and as you do this, you feel you automatically come forward, round the upper back, shift your shoulders over the wrists, and then bend your knees a bit. Stick your buttocks up and behind you and arch your back as you wave into down dog. You can straighten the legs at the end if you want to. Round the tailbone down, round the lower, mid, upper back. Bend your knees a bit and arch to press back. Round to come forward. Arch to go back. Takes a bit of practice again. This one is a bit harder because there's more weight on the hands. Let's do one more. And then roll forward again. Lower your knees. Look forward, arch your back, lift the tailbone, and then bend your elbows. Place the chest and the chin down. At the same time, knees, chest, and chin. Take a breath here. Now all we're going to do is untuck the toes, come onto the tops of the feet, and then do spinal roll from, starting from the tailbone, tucks under. You feel the spinal wave move through your mid and to the upper back. And lastly, you lift the head, so now you're in up dog. Let's reverse it, chin to chest, round your upper back, round the middle back, round the lower back. So you're in a down dog with your toes still, not tucked under the other one, your toes still pointed. And finally, tuck the toes under normal down dog. So that's the spinal roll that we're going to use for our vinyasas, for our sun salutations in a little bit. I just wanted to demo it to you before we do that, so that you already know it a little bit before we flow through this a little bit faster. Not fast, but continuously. So let's do this one more time. We start in down dog. Only the pelvis tilts, tailbone tucks under, round your lower back. Spinal roll into plank, mid back, upper back, shoulders over wrists. Drop your knees, arch your back, bend the elbows, knees, chest, and chin. Now here the tailbone tucks the other way. So now you're arching, tuck it under, and feel spinal roll into upward facing dog. Tuck chin to chest, round your upper, mid, lower back. For a moment, down dog on the tops of the feet. Tuck the toes under, normal downward facing dog. Walk your feet forward to the front of the mat. Bend your knees a good amount. Another spinal roll here, just from standing this time. Start to roll up really slowly. This is a good one to really feel each vertebra stacking on top of the other. So start with the lower ones in the lower back. Rolling up through the mid back. Rolling up through the upper back. And then lastly, when you feel the spine has straightened up, you can roll the shoulders back and lift the head. Let's reverse that. We're going to go rolling down this time. So just let your arms hang. Imagine your arms are weights. Even imagine you've got a kettlebell in each hand or something heavy, a dumbbell, and tuck your chin to your chest. Round your upper back. Feel the curl move down your back to the mid back.
And as you hang the arms down, move to lower back rounds. And then go deeper and deeper until you are hanging down. You could always bend your knees a little bit here. That's fine. Let's roll back up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands to heart. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, hang your arms chin to chest. We're rolling down. 5, upper back. 4, mid back. 3, 2, lower back. 1, tailbone, hinge from the hips. Hang down. We're rolling back up, bend your knees. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Head lifts up last. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, hang your arms down, chin to chest, round. 5, 4, use your belly. 3, 2, use your hip flexors, pull yourself down. 1, and hang. Now lift the head and pull yourself forward, push your hands to the shins for flat back. Really nice to extend the spine. Exhale, step your right foot back, lower the right knee down. Inhale, lift the arms, low lunge, just for a breath. Exhale, downward facing dog, step back. We're rolling forward into plank. Start with your pelvis and lower back, mid back, upper back. Knees down, look forward, arch your back, bend your elbows, chin and chest down at the same time. Start with the tailbone tucking under, move through lower back, mid, upper back, toes are pointed, upper dog, chin to chest, round, 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 down dog, tuck the toes under, and breathe. Inhale here. Exhale, the right foot forward, the left knee down. Inhale, lift your arms. Exhale, step forward and forward fold. Bend your knees a lot. Spinal roll, you've guessed it. Start from the tailbone. Lower back, middle back, upper back. Imagine all the vertebrae stacking on top of each other. Finally get to the base of the head. You can lift your head. Reverse the other way, chin to chest. Round, imagine sticking your dinosaur spine out behind you. Imagine these huge spikes. Slowly rolling down, round, 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 round. Hang your arms for extra weight. Inhale, flat back. Lengthen the chest forward. Exhale, hands down, left foot back. Lower your left knee. Inhale, lift the arms, low lunge. Exhale, find your down dog. Ready for our spinal roll. So wave forward into plank. Just try it out. Every time you try it, you're getting a little bit better at this. Lower the knees, arch your back, look forward, bend your elbows, go slow. Tilt the tailbone down first. Untuck the toes. Spinal roll to the whole spine. Lift the head last. And then the head first. Tuck chin to chest. Lift, lift, lift the front body up. Back into down dog. Inhale in down dog. Exhale, the left foot forward, the right knee down. Inhale, lift your arms, low lunge. Exhale, step forward and forward fold. Bend your knees, spinal roll. Go slow, 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 slow. Let's do one more round. Roll the shoulders back. Here we go. Inhale. Exhale, let's roll down, chin to chest. Dinosaur spikes, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hang the arms down. Now inhale, flat back. Head leads the way, look forward. Exhale, right foot back, right knee down. Inhale, arms, lift them up. Exhale, down dog, step it back. Let's round and wave forward. 3, 2, 1. Knees down, look forward, arch. Slowly lower. Untuck toes, start tailbone, mid-back, upper back, head, upper dog, chin to chest. Round your upper back, mid, lower back, hips lift high, tuck the toes under, down dog. Inhale. Exhale, right foot forward, left knee down. Inhale, let the arms float up. Exhale, step forward, fold. Let's roll up. 5, 4, keep the knees bent. 3, 2, 1. Standing tall, we keep the knees bent because it gives you a lot more access to the spine, especially in the lower back. We've got one more round. Here we go. Tuck chin to chest. Round. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, flat back. This work doesn't function if you're rushing. Left foot back, left knee down. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, down dog. Let's round starting from tailbone. Wave, roll forward into plank. Knees down, arch your back, look forward, knees, chest, chin. Tuck toes, or untuck toes rather. Start to wave from the lower back, mid, upper back, up dog, chin to chest. Round upper, mid, lower back, down dog, tuck the toes under. Inhale. Exhale, left foot forward, right knee down. Inhale, arms. Exhale, step forward. Spinal roll, bend your knees, go slow. Enjoy each part of this movement. Stay with the breath and stay with this deep spinal work, which in yoga practice is core work. Hands to heart, standing tall, feel the ease of your mountain pose. You've got this strong structure, the pillars of the legs, the pelvis transferring the weight of the upper body to the lower body, the spine providing the structure for the upper body, the shoulders and arms, and the head at the top of the spine. Here we go, spinal roll, inhale. Exhale, hang the arms, chin to chest, round, 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 round. You can bend your knees, round, hang down. Inhale, straighten the legs, flat back, push your shins with the hands. Exhale, step back, downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths. And from here, step your right foot forward and turn around so you see better. Turn the left heel down. Warrior 2, open the arms. Spinal movements, we're going sideways this time. We'll use 2 poses for that. The first one is side angle. Drop your right elbow to your right thigh. Reach the left arm over the head. The second movement, the feet will stay the same. Just the arms will swap into reverse warrior. So left hand goes down, right arm reaches up. So it's a side bend in the other direction. Again, swap, right elbow down, left arm over. Left hand down, reverse warrior, right arm up. Right elbow down. Reach the top arm over. Organize your breath just as it should be, as it works for you. Right arm up, reverse warrior, lean back, keep the front knee bent. Right elbow down, left arm over. Left hand down, right arm over. This time stay here, but straighten the front leg, lean back in this sort of reverse triangle pose. Keep that. Reach your right hand forward, keep the leg straight. When you can't go more forward, just lower the right hand down somewhere and lift the left arm up. So we're in triangle pose here. And we'll do a little flow where we practice. We've done the spinal rolls. We've done reverse warrior and side angle, which is side bending. And now we'll do more of a twisting motion in the spine, just to complete all those three directions that we have been exploring. So it's very simple, left hand down, bend the front knee, and in the process lift the back heel, lift the right arm. That's easy twist. So this is the second pose. The first one is triangle. Now we'll alternate between the two. Right hand down, left arm up. You might actually need a block here if you want to raise the right arm a little bit higher, the right hand. Left hand down, right arm up. Easy twist, bend the front knee. Right hand down, back heel grounds, left arm up. Triangle. So we're twisting, feel that twist in the spine as you lift the right arm, easy twist. Triangle pose. Let's do one more round. Keep your attention on the movements in the spine, left hand down, right arm up. Right hand down, downward facing dog. Take a breath. I'm going to flow through one of those rolling spinal vinyasas. If you want to skip it and stay here, you can also do child's pose, take a break, or you can rest in down dog if that is an option. Otherwise, tuck your tailbone, round your lower back, wave through the lower, mid, upper back, knees down, arch your back, lift the tailbone, look forward, set it down. And then start from the pelvis, tucks under, wave through the mid and upper back until you get to up dog. Chin to chest, round, 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 round. Back to down dog, maybe stay in the tops of the toes for a moment. And tuck your toes under. Well done. Let's step the left foot forward, warrior two. Take a moment to feel your spine, all the way from the tailbone, the base of the spine, till the point where your head balances at the top. And then lower the left elbow to left thigh, reach the right arm overhead. This is side angle pose, side bend to the left. And then side bend to the other side and reverse warrior. Right hand down, left arm up. Lean back. Left elbow down, right arm over. Reach forward. Lean back, reverse. Reach forward. Couple of times. This is sometimes called dancing warrior, this little flow. Really nice to, well, you're building strength in the legs, but you're also moving the spine on top of a stable foundation of the legs. Really great work. Next time you lean back in reverse warrior, keep that, but straighten the front leg, reach through the top arm. Keep the legs straight, now reach your arms out. Left arm reaches forward and lowers down. Right arm lifted up, triangle pose. This is our first one. First pose in our mini sequence. We're only doing two poses, which is triangle and side angle. So for side angle, no, easy twist, I mean not side angle. Right hand down, bend the front knee, lift the back heel up, and then lift the left arm, twist to the side in easy twist. Back to triangle pose. Back heel comes down. If you can, ground that left hand. You might need a block. Right hand down. Easy twist. Bend the front knee. Left hand down. Right arm up. Triangle, feel the twisting motions in the spine. Easy twist. Triangle pose, last round. Easy twist. Hands down. Downward facing dog. Options again, you can stay here, you can do child's pose. You can do those spinal rolls in child's pose that we've done in the beginning. We can do one more spinal roll, Vinyasa, starting from the tailbone, the base of the spine, rolling up the spine like a wave, making its way to your head in plank. Bend your knees, place them down, arch your back, lift the tailbone, look forward, bend the elbows, chin and chest land at the same time. Then untuck toes, start from the tailbone. Spinal wave, upward facing dog. Tuck chin, another spinal wave. Back to that down dog on the toes. You would think it gets easier after a while, but it doesn't seem to. Downward facing dog. Lower your knees. Rest in child's pose for a moment. Direct your breath all around the torso, all the way down to your belly, your pelvic floor, your lower back. And then slowly lift back up. If you've got a little bit of wall space, then we can use that now, because we're going to do squat against the wall. You might have to check the distance for your feet so that you can squat with your whole back up against the wall. My feet are still slightly too far, so wiggle them a little bit back. You should be able to sort of fit snugly against the wall, your whole back against it, and your head leaning back if it's possible. So all we're going to do is a little spinal roll, peeling ourselves off the wall from our squat position. And we're starting with the head. So tuck chin to chest, just like we've done before. And start to remove one vertebra at a time in the upper back, in the middle back, and in the lower back. Most probably your sacrum or the lower part of the spine will still be on the wall, that's fine. So rounding here. Now start from the base of the spine and move each vertebra at a time back onto the wall and keep it there. So you move through lower back, mid back, upper back, head. You'll feel your lower back wants to peel away from the mat, from the wall. And of course your neck isn't all the way back against it. That wouldn't work. Let's do that again. Chin to chest. Round. Peel away from the wall, one part of your spine at a time. Just feel when the whole chunk wants to move as one. You'll notice. And then go back onto the wall from the lower back. Mid back, upper back, head. Two more. Here we go. Go slowly, chin to chest. Peel the upper back away from the wall. One little segment at a time. It takes a lot of focus, a lot of control, a lot of presence in the breath and in the body. And then reverse that. And one more, go at your own pace. The slower, the better, I would say. There's no benefit in rushing. There's a lot of benefit in slowing it down, gaining control, and maybe seeing where you don't have control right now at the moment yet. Take a breath, rest back against the wall in your squat. Nice. And then return to the mat for bridge pose. Actually, before we do bridge, I'll do one more little core exercise, which works the same as bridge, but we'll be lifting another part of the spine. So just walk your feet a little bit further forward away from your hips. So not like setting up for bridge, the feet are further away. And then here, we'll do spinal roll, tuck your chin to your chest, reach your fingers forward. And then peel the upper back off the mat, middle back, and maybe the lower back. You might get stuck somewhere halfway, that's okay. So just go until you can't further. Round your back. Place the lower back down, that's the hardest. Place the middle back down. Place the upper back down, that's easy. Place the head down, that's easy. So reach hands forward, tuck chin to chest. Peel the upper back off the mat. Peel the lower back off the mat. And maybe crunch or sit all the way up. This is a sit-up. You might get stuck, which is okay. Just don't force anything. Don't use momentum. Place the lower back down one vertebra at a time. Middle back, don't let gravity take you too fast. Upper back. Head. So what we're not doing, I'll just show you one round of what we're not doing, is like this. Sweeping the arms and then sitting up with a big crunch. This is not spinal rolling. It might help to define your abs a little bit, but actually today we're practicing control and stability, so that's not the same exercise. That's why we're only doing 3. We've got one more. Here we go. Fingers reach forward, tuck chin to chest, peel the upper back off the mat, middle back, lower back. Hopefully you feel this little trembling, this little shake, or you might even get stuck, which is a very good sign. Just stay stuck there for a moment and then reverse that. How slowly can you place yourself back down? It's a spinal roll, so we're doing one little segment at a time. Really good. Now place your hands next to the hips. We'll do the same, but starting from the lower back. Just bend your knees and then lift the tailbone. Lift the lower back. Lift the mid back. Maybe lift the upper back. And then place it back down really slow. Use your brakes, which is in your belly. Mid back. Lower back. Tailbone. 2 more like this. So this is spinal roll, but from a lower back lift, knees to chest. Don't use momentum. I saw that. No, I didn't, but I know it's tempting. Lift the lower back. Lift the mid back. Lift the upper back. You can use your hands to press. And then reverse really slow. Don't give in to gravity. Slowly, 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 slowly. One more of these. Lower back, middle back. Engage your belly. Lift the hips up. And set everything back down. One segment at a time. We're regaining control over our spine, and eventually our whole body moves, of course. The better the spine moves, the better the whole body's gonna move. So now set up for bridge. I know I spoke about bridge a whole while ago, but here it comes. So now the feet are a bit closer to the hips, and again we're doing spinal roll, but this time in bridge pose. So press lower back into the mat first, and then lift the tailbone, lift the lower back, lift the middle back, lift the upper back. And we'll do it dynamically. So we're not staying, start to lower the upper back. The mid back, feel each part of the spine. Lengthen your tailbone towards your heels so that you can place the lower back down, maybe one part at a time also, until the tailbone comes down. We're doing 3 of these, so press the lower back into the mat first, lift the tailbone, lift the sacrum, lift the lower back, lift the mid back, lift the upper back. I can feel in my mid back, there's a whole chunk of 3, maybe 4 vertebrae that seem to not segment, they seem to move as one chunk all at once. And I need to work on that. So maybe you also have part of the spine where you feel, okay, there's a little bit of work that needs to be done here. Some parts are going to be moving okay already, and some not just yet. Just do one last round in your own time. There's another saying, you are as old as your spinal health. So this is really helping to maintain a feeling of movement potential, vitality throughout the whole body. You probably feel nice and awake, this sort of internal heat that this generates, and a sense of calm confidence deep in your center. Hopefully you'll feel that. So let's end with a spinal twist. Wrap your right knee over the left here. And then walk your hips a little bit to the right before dropping your knees to the left side. I just need to remove the microphone. Drop your knees to the left. And then you can reach your arms out to the side. Actually, what I like to do here is use the left hand on top of the right knee just to have a little bit of extra grounding and weight. You can reach your right arm away from that right shoulder. And try to feel heavy in that shoulder. Even if it's a little bit lifted, it's okay. But just get a sense of weightedness. This is probably our first passive stretch or pose in this whole class, this whole 1 hour. So enjoy not having to segment the spine. You don't have to control the breath. Actually, the more you soften in this pose, the better. Let the gravity do the work. Let your body soften into this pose. And then slowly lift the knees back up. You can unwrap the legs and then wrap the left knee on top of the right. Shift both of your hips to the left side a little bit before dropping the knees to the right side. Again, you can open the arms, maybe right hand rests on that left knee. Relax the left arm, left shoulder, the rib cage towards or onto the mat. You don't need to crank your neck all the way back. I mean, you can, but it might feel more comfortable if you just look up or even to the right. All those options are fine. And can you feel an unwinding sensation around the spine? The strong structure right in our center that is housing our whole central nervous system, providing all the signals from the brain to the body and also from the body back to the brain. So just visualize this for a moment. It is a pretty important piece. And return to the center. Shift your hips back to the middle. And then just extend the arms and legs. Shuffle around for a few moments to get really comfortable in your back. Let the legs and the feet flop out to the side. Let the palms roll open and maybe shift side to side just to get your shoulders underneath the upper back. Make the chest feel nice and open. And rest your head back effortlessly. Take a slow breath in. And as you exhale, open the mouth, let the breath go out. 2 more of these. Slow inhale. Exhale, sigh, sink down into the mat. Do 1 more. Inhale. All remaining tension, let it go. Let the breath return to normal. And relax your spine. All the muscles and structures around it. And start to take a few deeper breaths. If you have some more time, a couple of minutes to stay longer in this Shavasana, then that would be a magnificent idea. I would definitely recommend it. But if an hour is all that you had to work with, then that is plenty too. Well done. You can start moving your hands and move your feet. Bend your knees and roll over onto your side. And make your way up into sitting. Bring your hands together in front of the heart. Touch your hands to your forehead, to your heart center, and bow to yourself on the mat. Thank you so much for practicing. Namaste everyone. I hope you feel amazing and revitalized with these spinal movements. Come back to this often, and I hope to see you again soon. Take care.